Alright, welcome back to Tales from the Black Tower, a solo D&D game currently following Tobias Vandermill, a human wizard. My name's Body, and I'll be your player dungeon master for today. When last we left our adventurer, he and Morning had just discovered a boulder with a draconic rune of the name Snelgo on it, that matched the runes on the coins that they had found from a kobold named Snilgo some days back. They're currently waiting. They found out that there was some sort of gravitational attraction between the coins and the boulder, and in testing that, they managed to get themselves flung across the forest and take some points of damage from like slamming into trees or landing on various roots or twigs. I think we had chaos. I think chaos went up from the last one because they sort of. Actually, no. I think chaos went down because while they did get sort of injured by their experimentation with the coins, it was sort of a controlled thing. Yeah, it didn't go the way they thought it would, but they were doing it. They were making things happen the way sort of they wanted them to. But what they were doing while experimenting with the coins is they're actually waiting for Deilian, the silver dragon who wanted information on the dragonborn thief who had an artifact that had been stolen. So I've got actually a picture of what I imagine Deilian looks like. It's an AI-generated silver dragon forest. That's that image here in the center. But the idea is now we got Chaos 4, and the next scene is when Deilian actually arrives. So first we need to roll for interrupt or altered scenes. For that we need a single D10. And we're looking for less than 4. Okay, so 4, so that's even. That's an interrupt scene. So actually there's a random event that happens before Deilian gets back. So we're going to say it's D4 hours later. 4 hours later. So we know as the Dungeon Master, but not as the player, we know that Deilian is about an hour away from returning. We determined this last session. But 4 hours go by after they were experimenting with the coins. They sort of return back to where they were sitting previously, where they had last seen Deilian. And the event focus for this event is going to be 99. Okay, that's NPC positive. Okay. And then action and subject. Oh, do we have it? I haven't looked at that yet, so it's not official. NPC positive. So we really only have 2 NPCs. Oh, we've got Tibeticus the Wise, who's back. So there's Tibeticus the Wise, there's Kaz, and there's Deilian. And there's Snelgo too. So we're gonna have 1 is Snelgo. We're gonna have 2 is Deilian. 3 is Tibeticus. And 4 is Kaz. This is NPC positive, so we're gonna do D4 for them. It's 2, so this is Deilian, okay. So what happens? NPC positive, what happens for Deilian? The action is going to be 27. Phrase. Interrupt scene. There's an interrupt scene before Deilian returns. NPC positive. And phrase. What is the subject? Praise technology. Oof. NPC positive. For alien. Praise technology. What is this random event related to the alien? Yeah, I think you know what happens. I don't want to. I think something happens with the chest. Tobias has been tinkering with it for the last 4 hours, and I think something happens with the chest. Let's say, is it a good thing? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? That's what we need to figure out. It's NPC positive. I'm gonna say yeah. So what happens is, in fact, we find out that the chest, the draconic rune, the draconic story on the chest is sort of, it's not actually a story. It's we find out that it's Tobias realizes that it's something like a riddle, and there's something about the riddle that helps him to figure out, you know, what happens with how to open it. It's some sort of clue. So this is actually, so it's something. So he realizes this. That's what happens. It's we don't know why it's positive for the alien yet, but Tobias figures out something related to how to open the chest. What is the nature of that? Let's see if we can. Pardon, eternal grudge. Okay, so is that a positive thing? So Tobias figures out that the writing on the chest is a riddle, presumably related to opening the chest, opening it. Okay. So how much? I think we need. What I want to do is make an intelligence check for him. Let's make it an investigation check. That this is how much he actually knows about this riddle. Like, is he able to see the structure? Maybe he doesn't understand how it applies to the chest. Oh wow, 20. Yeah, so he definitely sees that there's some sort of riddle. And actually, you know, he's like, it's some metaphor in Draconic from, you know, conquering the human society for this guy is the same as sort of conquering the riddle of the chest. The question is he able to open it? I think that's likely. I think, is he able to open it before the alien arrives? I think that's likely. And we're at Chaos 4 though, so 55% chance. That is actually a hell no. He's not able to open it. But he is able. It's a hell no. It's just a no. I don't see any real way that we can make him able to open it. But we figure out, yeah. So I think that's really just the interrupt scene. Tobias figures out that the writing on the chest is a riddle related to opening it, and he actually figures out what he thinks is the answer to the riddle. He is a wizard. He is really smart. He's got like a freaking 18 intelligence. But it's not clear to him how it would open the chest, and that's why we as GMs understand that it's really what we think is that the alien's actually going to be able to use the answer to open the chest, because he knows more of, let's say, the history of it or something like that. And it's some sort of riddle like a dragon, like there's the old riddle where it's walks on 3 legs in the or 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs at night. It's that kind of that thing, but a similar type of riddle for dragons. And it's his knowledge of, because he can speak Draconic, so he has some training in dragons and their history and the things about them. And golden dragons in particular, which is what the riddle is about. And then maybe the riddle even plays off of some sort of corollary between gold and silver and coins or something like that. And now the scene plays out, where Delian comes back. So I think, yeah, Delian's he's not really trying to be secretive, he's not trying to be stealthy coming back to this area, and they know that he's sort of on his way. But we're getting towards the middle afternoon, let's say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when Delian actually arrives. They've been waiting there for about 6 hours. And Delian arrives, and he's basically thanking them for their service in capturing Kaz. Delian is actually surprised that they would be able to find him so quickly. It's sort of astonishing. The question is, I think Delian is suspicious that they were working with, that they were working with Kaz, and I think that's unlikely. Actually, Delian's gonna do an insight check. It's okay. So he doesn't really, he sort of thinks it, but it's like, but like Tobias and Morning's Breath are also wondering, like, how did you catch up to us? Like, what the hell's going on? How did he find them right as like they woke up, they left their camp, Kaz came up to them and said, "Hey, I got this chest," and then he tried to run away, and then like 2 minutes later Delian was there. So I think Tobias is gonna ask, like, were you following us? And we need to learn the truth first. So I think it's somewhat likely that he was following them, so this is 50% chance. Yeah, so he was following them. Does Delian tell the truth, though, is the next question. I think that's likely. I think that's very likely. What? 26? Yeah. So Delian sort of says, "You know what? Yeah, I was following you. I didn't necessarily have any thoughts that you were bad, like, associated with it." He sort of had his suspicions that they were associated with Kaz in some way, but he actually stood and watched and saw, like, the entire thing play out. Delian eventually arrives. He thanks them for apprehending Kaz. Tobias and Morning ask him if he was following them, how he was able to find them so quickly. After they got Kaz. He says that he admits that he was following them. Just because people are so rare out here, and he was a bit suspicious. So, he's being straight up. He's being honest about it. And Tobias is sort of like, okay. And Tobias they don't really know how to process that right off the bat. but let's see. Is that a positive or negative thing? That's even. Yeah, so they don't really have a strong reaction either way. Yeah, and then what Tobias and Morning's Breath are going to be asking Cat or Delian is like, okay, well, are you going to give us some sort of reward? Like we basically caught this guy for it. They don't know that they would have been able to find Kaz otherwise. And I think Tobias is going to be. Actually, they would have talked about this while they were waiting, but Morning's Breath is the one that has the charisma score of the two of them, so he's going to be asking like, "Hey, so we caught this guy for you." Morning's Breath even got knocked the fuck out, so realistically, they're going to be asking for some. Oh, hold on, didn't want to do that yet. Some sort of reward. I think. Yeah, so they're gonna ask about the reward, but then really with what then Julian says like, whoa, hold on. Yes, we may have apprehended Kaz, but where is the where is the artifact? And Tobias goes, oh, so, but the alien is asking, where's the artifact? The chest is right there. Is the chest the artifact? We don't necessarily know that. I think it's likely. Actually, do we know that? I think it's likely. I think the chest could be the artifact. 67. Oh. You know what I think? Okay, no. So what's no, I think yeah, I shouldn't have rolled that. But yeah, the chest is the artifact. We're just gonna go with a simple answer. We're gonna fudge that roll. Fudge that roll this time. I think it just makes so much sense for it to be the artifact. So he presents like he must not have seen it, or maybe they had put it under a blanket or something. But basically, they hand the alien the chest, or they show the alien the chest. Like, see, here it is, and the alien is like, "Oh yes, wow, amazing." And the alien sees that because he's familiar with the chest, he definitely sees that the necrotic energy has dissipated from it, that the trap has been sprung. The question is, does he say anything about it? I think that is 50-50. I don't know. 35? 13. So no, yes, he does say something about it. So he's like, so he sort of like squints at Morning's Breath and Tobias, saying like, I see there's something wrong with this chest. You two tried to open it, didn't you? Why'd you try that? Like, and Tobias is like, I didn't try that. Tobias is like, don't look at me. He looks over at Morning's Breath. It's like, I was impatient. I was curious. Look at this thing. I don't know. It's so ornate. Um. And then, so let's just say that Tobias or Morning's Breath is going to give a. Yeah, he's going to give a persuasion roll. He's not proficient in persuasion, so it's just going to be a plus 3. Oh, that's not a. And then if it's 10, and then the insight on the dragon. Wow. Okay. I don't think he's gonna have more than a plus 5. So yeah, and we don't know if um, Morning's Breath is being honest or not. He's basically like, hey, I was curious. What do you expect from me? I'm a cat, right? um, and so that the alien sort of accepts that. He's like, oh well, I mean, you weren't able to get it open, so it's not a big deal. Just I hope the tendrils of darkness didn't hurt you too much. So then Delia, Morning's Breath is like, so about that reward, we have the chest, we have the we were able to get you, Kaz. How about it? It's like, Delian says, does Delian have the reward on him? I think it makes sense that he would have, because presumably he just came back from his lair. Okay, so I think it's very likely that he has some reward. So it's going to be 75% chance. 8. That's a yes. It's also a hell yes. So that not only does he have a reward. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is going to be not only does he have a reward, it's actually a big reward, because this is more important than Tobias and Morning's Breath thought it was. Like, it's almost suspiciously important. Like, why is he? It's almost like he's trying to imply that Morning's Breath and Tobias should keep quiet about this whole thing. And that's sort of as he's talking about here, all the stuff that he's going to give them. He's like, what the So here we're going to go to treasure. It's going to be a tier 1 horde. We're going to reroll this time. Can you guys see? Oh, no, you can't. All right, ready. Going to be a tier 1 horde. We're going to reroll. A lot of potions. I don't know what this does. Alright, so let's catch up on the notes. The suspicious. Delian asks after the case and sees that the trap had been sprung. And Morning admits that he was curious, like a cat, about its contents. He meant no ill will, and Delian seems to accept it. Delian then goes to reward for finding the chest and Kaz. And Delian produces a massive chest. Massive. It's a normal looking chest. Massive chest filled with loot for them. Meanwhile, he makes some allusions to keeping quiet about the whole thing, the whole situation. Why does he do that? I think Tobias is going to try to make an insight roll. Because like, he's being sort of suspicious. Okay, yeah. So Tobias, Tobias, he's got a +4 insight action. So yeah, Tobias is curious. Tobias notices that Delian is being suspicious. Does he ask about it though? He loves a mystery. No, I think his insight is so good. He realizes what's going on, and it would sort of be ruining it to call it out. But he's kind of curious now, and I think this is going to be a new thread. We're going to close the Kaz Dragonborn Thief thread, but then open up a thread on Delian and his suspicious behavior. So I've got that here. We're going to close the thread. Oh wait, no, let's close the Dragonborn Thief, but now we've got Delian, Silver Dragon, suspicious activity. Why is he trying to keep it quiet that he's got this that this chest was stolen, that Kaz, but that Kaz, got made away with this chest, but lets it lie. Lets it lie. Since the reward is so great. So Lars. That's a better word. Great means something else. So, what's the reward again? We've got 2142 copper, 1232 silver. Man, this stuff gets heavy, right? How heavy is gold? It's like a pound per 10, I think. Weight of coins in 5th edition? 50 gold, so that's not a whole lot. 77 times 10 GP gems. Claws. Feather token. Potion of diminution. Invulnerability. And superior healing. Alright, that's nice. Right. What are 50 coins a pound? Okay. 50 coins a pound. I don't know how I just said that. Okay, so the question is, we need to bust our calculator. I don't know how much. So with all of that, we've got our tracker here with a couple different things. So they're going to keep the gold, obviously, so that's 174. And then silver, that's 1232. Which means it's going to be 1648 plus 2, 2880. And that's what? Divided by 50 is how many pounds? 57. I think they can. Ooh, they are. These guys are really weak. These guys are really weak. I don't know if they can carry. I think again, they're going to have to leave behind most of the copper. They just aren't strong enough to carry it. We're talking another 50 pounds, another 40 odd pounds of just copper. Whatever. I'm curious what Qual's feather token is. Let's look at that. It's in the DMG. Okay. Okay, it looks like different type of feather tokens exist. Oh! Okay, so there's 6 different kinds of feather tokens. They can do different things. Okay. Alright, so let's see. The feather token. It's you roll a D100 to determine what kind of feather token it is. So we're gonna roll it. Oh, I have looked at this before, but I don't remember. It was a long 36. That's gonna be a fan. Oh, right on the edge. It's a fan feather token. And the fan. The description of this is: if you are on a boat or ship, you can use an action to toss the token up to 10 feet in the air. The token disappears, and a giant flapping fan takes its place. The fan floats and creates a wind strong enough to fill the sails of one ship, increasing its speed by 5 miles an hour for 8 hours. You can dismiss the fan as an action. Okay. Oh, but it's single use. Alright. That's pretty cool. But they got a lot of gold. And the question is, what XP do they get? They had combat. They went through a couple things. They got injured a little bit. I think this is probably 400 XP. I think this is enough for. They did this. It's not really a big quest, but think 900. So I think with that, I'm gonna end this session, level up in the meantime, and I think that's gonna be it. Next time, I think Tobias and Morning's Breath are going to continue their journey westward towards the river. Have a good have a good evening, morning, whatever it might be.